All right, here we are, Real Dirt with Chip Baker, and this is a special episode, High Noon from Humboldt with Steve Gieder. Say hey, Steve.
Hey. Getting high in Humboldt today.
Oh, High Noon in Humboldt. Oh, man, I was just back in Humboldt for the Cannifest, which is part of Green Week that Steve's been putting on for several years. How many years you been putting it on? Green Week?
Green Week's this was the 11th year we put on Green Week, a celebration of all things green.
All things green. Earth Day to 420.
The same week. Every year.
Right. It's been a great time.
And if it's not, we stretch the week out to make sure it encompasses both.
Even though I live in Denver now and kind of a gypsy, I always call Humboldt home, and I haven't been back for a couple months, and as soon as I landed on the ground, holy hell, man, the weed's just so strong there. Everybody just has the strongest weed. I mean, you know, I'm a puffer. I'm over here in Colorado. We're smoking weed, but it's just a different level there. Can you explain this?
I don't know. Well, there's California, right? And there's Colorado, right? California's the mothership. You know, Humboldt County's the mothership over here. We got the world's brain trust of all things green right here in Humboldt County. You can't argue it. There's no denying it. You can't be trying to lie in it.
The weed is undeniable, for sure.
It is. I mean, I don't know. Some of our leaders moved out to Colorado when that thing started happening, like yourself. But a lot of the people stayed right here in Humboldt and kept, doing their thing. And a lot of people, I think, that moved out to Colorado were, maybe they weren't the innovators of the industry necessarily. They just saw another opportunity.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not trying to rip on Colorado. I'm just trying to figure out why you guys grow swag out there.
No, it's not like that. It's just of a different quality, man.
All right. I take it back. It's just because maybe you guys don't know how to cure it.
I think
guys and gals, pardon me.
I think there's a bunch of things going on. Man, there's that level of consciousness in Humboldt County. There's so much volume, and I hear people coughing up the volume in the back. But there's so much volume there that the cream really does rise to the top.
The green does rise to the top.
The green rises to the top. And that's kind of part of it because, people only pull out their highest quality weed.
Well, that's what somebody told me at Cannifest. He said, my partner Ken, he moved up here to Humboldt County about 2 years ago. And he's kind of a total transplant to the cannabis industry and the whole underground culture. So everything he's been seeing up here has blown him away. But one thing that he and many other people mentioned to me is that people came to Cannifest. They didn't come here. There wasn't people just lining up to try to buy little bags of ganja off people or do big, pound deals or anything like that. People were lining up to see if they could get a little taste or a little sniff or a little look-see at each other's head stashes and that stuff that they've been hiding out. This wasn't like, oh, here, come buy all my best stuff. This is like, here's the best stuff for sale on the front. But everyone's standing around having that conversation to see who pulls what out of their pocket.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about right there. That's the stuff that never makes it out to Colorado.
Totally. And they used to call this in Europe, years ago, they'd call it 25-meter hash. And it was hash that they'd make, and it wouldn't leave 25 meters from where that it had been made. Right. And it's a similar phenomenon there, except Humboldt's larger than 25 meters. Let's talk about what Cannifest is, because we've kind of mentioned it, but what's the brief description here? How can you describe it the best?
Yeah, Cannifest is Humboldt's manifest cannabis trade show and festival. And it's a community gathering where we do everything there from something called the Humboldt Grow Games to something we have called the Family Interactive Zone to ganja games. We had the Easter Bunny jumping around this year. We had a museum type installation that featured a kind of, what do we have? We had as far as I could see, it was the first known cannabis confessional. We had
I saw the confessional booth. I don't have any. I wasn't confessing.
You didn't have enough for you.
No,
didn't
man.
Feel safe enough to confess.
No, it's kind of rule number 2, right? Rule number 1 is don't get caught. Rule number 2 is don't confess. And
well, that was for the amateurs. The confession. We wanted to sort through the community. No, we also had over 45 different musical acts. We had over 75 different presenters, panelists, and educators, which you and myself were both on a couple of those panels together.
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So we do education there. We also had the trade show aspect to it. So we had all the supply industry there. So we have all your horticulture suppliers, the nutrient suppliers, the lighting people, people with new technologies, with old technologies, all the different supply end of the industry. And then we had the Area 215. And Area 215, we had all Humboldt County's finest cannabis medicine growers, makers, crafters. We had the breeders, the labs, and all the different pieces to the industry evolving on the cannabis forefront. We also had lots of great food and local goods. We do something called Vendor Village, and Vendor Village grew even bigger this year. And lots more people just came out from all pieces of the community to Cannifest to be at the world's most community-style cannabis event.
Trade show, music festival, cannabis cup.
Well, yeah, we also had the Cannifest Bowl for the third year in a row. And it's the only, as far as I can see, maybe someone can prove me differently wrong, but we do the Cannifest Community Choice Award, where the first 215 people that showed up to Cannifest and came into the Area 215, they all were given a bag of the 12 finalists from our Cannifest Bowl, which is a cannabis flower competition. We take entries from indoor, outdoor, hydroponics. We grew it up in the tree or underground. We don't care. Bring it into the event. Everybody says they have the best.
Yeah,
let's see
right.
what the community thinks. Everybody,
what's in your
outdoors
pocket?
Better than indoor. Chip, outdoors better than indoor. No, indoors better. It sells for more. Oh no, the outdoor tastes better. You could argue about this stuff forever, but I'll tell you this much: the last 2 years, the indoor won it. But
who won it this year? Who won it this year?
Who won it? Oh man, the guy's name was Eric. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I'm going to say Reisenberg.
I know very well.
What was the name of his farm, Jay? What's the name of that farm? It was
But the herb was grape soda.
Yeah, the herb was grape soda. The grape. So what we do at the Cannifest Bowl, we sort all the entries into 3 categories: the highest THC, the highest CBD.
So you lab test it. It's lab tested.
We lab tested it all. Yep, it's all lab tested. It's all clear of toxic poisons or microbials, and we tested in 3 categories: THC, CBD, and highest level of terpenes. And then we take the 4 top scores from each of those categories, and those are the 12 finalists. And those little baggies that we give every one of the community judges, they get a whole bag of 12 samples, a little pipe and a lighter and a scorecard, and they go fill out the cards, and that's how we choose who has the best cannabis. And the winner actually did not win any one of the 3 test categories, which goes to prove that just because your stuff tests the best, don't mean it is.
Yeah, that absolutely. I was involved in, we just had a grow off competition here in Colorado, and it was all lab tested. That's how the winner was chosen. And people kept saying, oh, the flavor competition. It's like, well, flavor implies human interaction. That's just a terpene competition when you're just testing it. Right. Yep. Which is, I mean, I love data. Me and you both talk numbers all the time. We love data. Yeah. Right. So I get it. But that human interaction, man, we've been co-evolving with the plant for our whole existence as humans. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I can tell you if it's stony or not without having to see a lab test. Right.
I think so.
Right. Right.
Usually without even smoking it.
Yeah, right. Well, you're 100% right about that. With the stoniness, there's so much about the terpenes that are underrated or underknown even, but you can smell it almost if it's going to get you high. You can smell it.
Yeah, you can feel it. Your body reacts. It reacts immediately to the smell of things.
Yeah.
One of the things that triggers people more than anything else that we don't even pay attention to are smells.
Yeah, no doubt. So did you got to look through all these weed? How many entries did you get? Do you know?
I don't know exactly because, to be honest with you, I kind of stay clear of it a little bit, and I just kind of popped in there because a lot of the other events that we've seen in the past, there's all this massaging that seems to happen, and the community doesn't seem to really appreciate the general community at large. Kind of looks at a lot of the cannabis competitions as how do you say massage?
Staged, maybe.
Staged. It seems like a lot of people.
Good old boy network. The people that always
friends
win.
kind of seem like they win.
Right.
That. But you know what? I've been in the same position. The first year, my good friend won it, and the second year, a friend of mine won it.
Well, it's Humboldt. It's hard not to
We have a lot of
know
friends.
everybody there, right?
The point, yeah, that's what I mean.
Right. One of the problems here in Colorado is it's hard to get the new genetics into the marketplace, right? And people do it and figure out how to do it, but the system is geared to make people lie and bullshit about what the strain is, right? You can't just go get a seed from Iceland or California or Florida and plant it here and call it what the seed is. Right. I'm sure people do this. Not that I personally know anybody or condone any illegal activities. However, in California, they don't have that restriction. People are always popping seeds. People are buying seeds from all over.
Right.
Like cumulative impact of people planting out seeds and doing pheno hunting.
Oh yeah,
that's a huge part of it. And honestly, I fear that with regulation, like some of that stuff might happen in California too.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
So any you said you tried to stay out of the weeds, so to speak, there. But I mean, did you see anything in all of these samples? Anything that stood out, or could you make a general comment? Or have you been seeing it for a few years? Or are there trends that are going on in flavors?
I think Humboldt County's a trendsetter. No doubt in the cannabis world, and I think what I've noticed. A lot of the movement is towards the extracts, and so with that, just like you were talking about terpenes being very popular flavor, being really what people are after for the most part, on the general consumption level, the biggest thing to sell right now would be terpenes, right? So if you have some stuff that might be made in someone's basement and you don't know if it's fully purged and cleaned, but it tastes really good, you can sell it for more money and over every other thing out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right now. So a trend that I'm definitely seeing in what I'm loving it, the trend, and that people are starting to grow different things again instead of trying to grow better OGs.
Yeah, right.
I think there was only 1 or 2 OG entries in the cup, in the bowl, the Cannifest bowl.
Excellent.
I believe only had 2 OG entries. One was a San Fernando Valley and the other one was the OG.
I love that.
Right.
The original OG.
The original OG.
So
awesome.
So 2 years ago, it was like everybody just grew OG. So with the whole extract thing and the terpene rising to the top and terps taking over, it's really nice. It's really nice to just watch the trends of a lot of these flavorful and unique genetics come back to the forefront, like whatever we were just talking about, sour tangy, and we got banana number 6, and what do we got here? Cherry AK.
Cherry AK.
About the cherry?
Oh, I know the cherry AK.
What do you know about the cherry, bro?
Cherry AK. Oh, man, that's just way back from 2004, brah.
04, buddy. Right. Tooper.
Cherry free. That's pre-tooper.
That's pre-tooper, yeah.
Pre-tooper.
That was just like cargo containers of cocoa at that point.
God, dude, totally. It was. Oh, memory lanes, man. Memory lanes. Well, man, I'll tell you, I met some incredible people and got some incredible stories at the Cannifest.
I love it.
So, hey, one of the great things about Cannifest is the panels, and I've always enjoyed them. And this year, you asked me to be on a panel. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was my. I've done a couple of things like that, but never in Humboldt where we could smoke weed and have our panel at the same time.
Right.
So you gathered together experts.
Never say never.
Yeah, right. Experts from all over. And we were on a panel together. Man, I'm so bad with names. What was our panel name? Weed the People.
We were on 2. The first one in the morning is it's a panel that starts Cannifest every year, and I call it Weed the People.
Weed the People with Ben Franklin.
With the People with Frank Benlin.
With Frank Benlin, that's right.
And this year, Weed the People, the theme there was Liberty Through Unity. But that was also the theme of Cannifest this year. Just talking about the liberties that we have when we come together. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So we gathered Franklin Ben. What was
Frank Benlin.
Frank Benlin.
Frank Benlin, otherwise known as Tom Hummel. Tom Hummel lives in Pennsylvania, and he's Lori Cosgrove. She's our general manager, and she runs Cannifest. That's her father. and he's a historian from Pennsylvania who comes out, does his thing. It's Frank Benlin. He loves it. And then we had yourself, Chip Baker with The Real Dirt was on there.
Chip Baker with Real Dirt.
We had Ryan Davidson with Humboldt Seed Organization.
Yeah, Ryan.
And then we also had Matt Kumin, who's a civil rights lawyer and a nationally renowned cannabis lawyer.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a huge turnout on Sunday morning for that, and actually, I'm going to release these whole panels in a coming episodes, probably right behind these couple episodes. Right,
nice.
So people will be able to hear those panels in their entirety.
Great. I haven't had quite a chance myself to watch them all because I think there's 15 of them.
Oh yeah,
that we did.
I know. I missed some because we were doing our panels, and they, there were these other exciting, interesting panels going on that we couldn't go see.
Yeah, we're going to be posting them all on our website too. www.cannifest.com. CANNIFEST. I got to get a plug in there, dude. I've been doing this whole thing. No plug yet.
No plug, yeah, no doubt. Plug it up.
There it is.
And you took video and did video and audio.
We did. We did video and audio, and we should have. You'll definitely have access to those from us if you don't already have it. As soon as they're done being edited. Great.
Yeah, and you'll also be able to look at a lot of this on therealdirt.com.
Oh yeah.
And then we had a great afternoon panel in the main hall. And that was the Real Dirt panel.
Yeah,
I hosted it, and it was a Real Dirt podcast. We're going to produce it as a podcast.
Nice. I look forward to that one.
Yeah. We had a really good panel there.
We called it the Cannabis Brain Trust, is what we called it.
That's right.
It was the Real Dirt with Chip Baker.
Yeah, the Cannabis Brain Trust, the Real Dirt with Chip Baker. Yeah. Wow.
That Skittles number 3 just tore me up over here, bro.
Oh yeah, I hear
you guys don't. I know you don't get no Skittles out there. Don't even try
crack of the torch.
Let me hear you say you've seen some Skittles out there,
dude. You know who you're talking to.
You know you're bullshit now.
Shit, I brought those Skittle boys up when they were wee-wees.
Nice. He said he brought those Skittle boys up. Hashtag, you heard it here first, motherfuckers.
Oh, I'm just jiving.
Oh, but, me too.
I get. Oh man, I really am fortunate enough that my friends come to town from all over and bring me great weed.
Yeah. That is a good thing.
Also, Mendocinos, I got tons of friends down there. We used to live down there. I love Ukiah, Hopland. That whole area is just incredible. That's where the Skittles comes from, right? Ukiah area.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
I'm going to have those guys out on the show.
Nice.
But Skittles extract, that's a flavorful one, that's for sure.
Yeah, those guys are good.
So you do these other couple of things there, these fun events. It's not just so heady, too. You have these grow games, it's an awesome idea. And this is a competition of activities that might take place on a commercial growery. Explain how this works.
Yeah, so the grow games are kind of like 4-H games, if you know what that is, or it would be kind of like a grower Olympic, kind of like American Gladiator vibe, something like this, American Ninja, whatever that's called. And it's a game where this year we had 3 preliminary events and a final event. The first preliminary event is called the Plant Repot Hustle, where 2 people compete, and the fastest time in the whole heat wins. They compete to repot 6 plants as fast as they can. So they got to take a little seedling, they got to put it into a 1-gallon grow bag filled with soil all the way up to the top. They got to put a little mycorrhiza in there. They got to water in some roots accelerator, and they get timed on that, And
do they have to weigh out this mycorrhiza and roots accelerator?
No, they don't have to weigh it out. They just have to go through this little process of sprinkling some of just a pinch. Don't let the wind kick up. But anyway, a couple people might have ended up with some of the eyes. But, so on the Grow Games field, it's really, I'm on the mic giving people hell the whole time.
Oh, yeah, you were DJing it up. As many ridiculous
things as I can. So it's not just a competition. We also had a house band this year, a Humboldt Grow Games house band. We played funk music and background music for us the whole time. So it's really a whole community event. So the Plant Repot Hustle was the first game. The second game this year was the Dirt Bag Drag, where 2 dirt bags had to drag a bag of dirt as far as they could in 42 seconds. So we had a 100-gallon grow bag filled with wet soil, and 2 people had to drag it as far as they could. And that was quite the sight for sore eyes watching that one. And then the third event is called the Emerald Triangle Irrigation Puzzle, where you got to come take these 3 pieces of hose, different circumferences, and you got to connect those with there's a bucket of fittings, and then there's a pump, and then on the other end of the pump, on the other end of the field, is a tank. So you got to pump the water from where the pump is into the tank through the hose by connecting all the pieces as quick as you can together. Yet again, another timed event. And then the grand finale, which took place the following day on Sunday, your whole team had to come back and compete together, all 4 members, in what we call the Team Pallet Challenge, where your team has to take a pallet of soil through this obstacle course, through the tires, over the hay bale pyramid, through the hoop house greenhouse, and then across the pond and restack the soil on a pallet where it has to stay for 10 seconds, then the clock stops. The winner of the Humboldt County Grow Games 2017 received a new Polaris side-by-side all-terrain utility vehicle. And we gave away over $20,000 worth of prizes to all the community members that took their time to come out and compete and have a blast with us and entertain the community.
It was fun. It was fun. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It was, so many people competed. That was a great competition. There was mud involved. It was just pure fun, as cannabis always is, pure fun.
Oh yeah, we also do the 420 tug, so it was like kind of a tug of war. And this year we did Sasquatch, the elusive Sasquatch who lives here in Humboldt County, versus the Beaster Bunny, who kind of lost his way one time traveling down from Western Canada. Kind of got lost in Humboldt, hanging out in the hills, and never quite made it back to BC. And it was kind of the Beaster Bunny on one side, Sasquatch on the other. We had about 15 people get behind myself as the Beaster Bunny, and our good friend Oli as Sasquatch. And I guess their team kind of won, but the funny thing is both Oli and myself and a couple other unfortunate individuals ended up in the mud and in the pond in the middle of the field.
Good
time. That's how we, some people call it a tug of war, but we call it the 420 tug. We bring people together with our tug.
Oh, good times, man. Good times. Yeah, so besides the grow games, there was also the ganja games.
Ganja games.
And even though there was some controversy at the ganja games this year,
as there always is,
let's describe what went on here at the ganja games and maybe talk about some of the participants.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can recap the ganja games a little bit. We had some cat coming out of there, some Highlander coming in.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess
Highlander. That's
he used to live in Humboldt.
Highlander. That's an excellent term for me. I'm going to pick that up as my nickname, Highlander. Yeah. What Steve's trying to say is I rolled into Humboldt to compete in the ganja games and whipped everybody's ass, but Steve couldn't have me win it because I was a sponsor, so he had to rig it against me.
Oh, well, the good thing about that is you'll be able to see that footage on Cannifest.com in the near future, and I'm sure Chip will get it up there on the Real Dirt as well, because we have very good footage, Chip, of that entire thing, and we can show the public, and they can, if somebody thinks you won, I want to meet that person.
Yeah.
I want to meet that person.
I absolutely, here's the thing is it was open to interpretation. It just didn't go my way. I just don't think it went my way.
No, it didn't. Everything that's being judged is always left open to interpretation. Right?
Yeah, right. So
what happens at the ganja games was there was a series of events that led up to the final event. And the final event's the one you're talking about. And that was the joint roll-off, where you had to roll as many joints as you could in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, I believe. Right?
Yeah, right. But hey, let's back it up. Let's start it at the beginning, though. Like there was like several things that went on here to even make for even the Highlander Chip Baker to make the cut.
Definitely. So the ganja games are a series of games that we refined, and we put it out there on a bunch of little tables, and we use about a 20. We use a good area. We got some chairs and some tables set up, all colorful. We got some boards and some music going, some entertaining friends. We got Tara and Allison, our ganja games gurus, holding that shit down.
They did a great job moving it around.
And so we have we have a couple games. One of them is you have to guess the genetic of the cannabis plant that's in a jar, and at the top of the jar it's got some holes in it.
Wow, so it's a closed jar. You can't see it. All you can do is smell it.
It's a blind sniff test. And it's called the shake and sniff.
And you have to tell what kind. Well, that must be extremely difficult, Steve. How many people were able to smell the correct strain?
Chip, I mean, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you.
I think just 6 of us.
6 people.
Yeah,
all right, nice.
6 people. 6 people.
I was running around that day.
Including myself.
I was lucky enough to make it to the grand finale there to banter on the team. But before that, I was on the MC for the Grow game, so we were kind of hustling around. So I didn't get to see that. But I'll take your word for it.
I came in number 3 in the overall Grow games before the finale.
Nice. Right. All right. So you were the third highest scoring person to play the ganja games
to get into the finale. Hundreds of people tried, and they chose, and 6 people, the 6 top scores, were entered into the ganja games.
Well, you know what? Next year I'm going to compete.
Next year, yeah, absolutely. And we need like an innocent bystander. No, not an innocent. That's not the correct term. An impartial like judge. Here, right? Ganja games. Top 6 competitors. They all competed in a roll off.
That's true. And you did a pretty good job. I know that you pushed it to the second round. I think there was a tie on the first one. Pushed it to the second round, a roll off. Yeah.
Now let's talk about this. We had to roll as many joints as we could in 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
That's true.
Right. And there were 6 of us. Right. And I believe I rolled 6 perfect joints.
You rolled 6 beautiful joints in round one. I do recall.
Right. And I tied with a couple other people who rolled 6 of the ugliest joints you've ever seen.
It's true. There's different categories. We when we were deciding on which ganja games to do, there is another category of rolling that we had, and it's the creative roll off, and we will be adding it next year.
Oh yeah, we should have done that this year too.
Right. And so we've messed around with different parameters with that, but I'm hearing you.
You saw my perfect joints, man.
You rolled some good joints round one.
Round one. Then we had round 2 where we had
round 2
was a roll off.
And this guy next to you started rolling Lincoln logs.
He did. They were pregnant Lincoln logs with weed falling out.
They were pregnant as hell. They were very pregnant. Oh my goodness!
He won with those joints. And there was supposed to be some style points, dude. I didn't get any style points. Well, wait a second. I sound like I'm whining now, man. My joints were styling.
Well, maybe if you're interested, we'd love to have your assistance on the Ganja Games Committee next year. And we'd love to have you out as a guest as well. Again, next year I'll invite you early.
Dude, I'm showing up with wristbands and headband on.
All right, let's bring it.
I'm bringing it next year.
You should bring Team Cultivate and see if you guys can win the Ganja Games.
The Ganja Games. The Grow Games. Oh, yeah, there you go. I should develop a team.
Team Cultivate, dude.
Yeah, I might do that.
Real Dirt. Team Real Dirt.
I don't know if I can. My guys might put everybody to shame.
That's the idea.
Yeah, totally. I got the best employees, best workers.
Definitely.
Yeah. It was good times, man. All jiving aside, it was really innovative and really fun. There's great interaction between cannabis seed growers, cannabis clone suppliers, cannabis dealers. It was such a good event in the area 215, and we need more stuff like that. Cannabis is serious, but it's also fun, and the interaction between the two is it just brings to light how dynamic the plant truly is.
It's true. I mean, we pride ourselves in the family interactive zone, or like we call it the Fizz. And the Fizz is like a zone at Cannifest where we had two stages this year where music was on one stage every hour, and then there'd be a break for an hour. And then the break, we'd have stuff on the side stage, everything from beekeeping workshops to healthy eating workshops to music workshops for kids, families to interact. We showed some folks how to do their own compost at home and a number of other different things, or medicinal teas and all types of things that are just, part of our community, part of our subculture, if you want to call it that, that are also just a part of the way we like to see the world change. And what better way to do that than to incorporate and educate and include the youth? A lot of the cannabis events are different than what we're doing. And I'm not going to say there are places where you wouldn't want to have your kids, because that's a personal choice where you want to bring your kids. But a lot of people complain at other events about, they even took, actually the first year we had Cannifest, they had just recently removed kids. They disallowed children to enter another event that was held locally right before our event. And so everybody started calling me up, are you guys going to have a kids thing there? And so some people were making sure we still were, because they wanted to bring their kids. And a number of people were calling up to try to tell us maybe we should reconsider having a kids zone, or, allowing kids to our cannabis festival, trade gathering, community event. And I thought that was absurd, and it gave us more fuel to the fire. And we put a lot more of our budget, our energy, and our time into creating a family interactive zone that's there to include everyone and normalize what we do. And also, I'm never into the kids' corners. It's not somewhere, you don't throw your kids somewhere and go get drunk and fall down and go forget you had a kid. This is the family interactive zone. Come on in. Come with the family. Come interact with the community. We always like to say there's a Cannifest and that Community Pride and Peace, which is a nonprofit we started, but we always like to say there's a you and an I in community.
Yeah, true that, man. You had both your boys there. I saw them throwing down their skills in the karate demo.
Yeah, my younger son, Maurice, is 5 years old, and he just got his yellow belt the other day, but he's excelling in his Kempo karate, and his teacher was happy to bring out the whole class and exhibit the skills and discipline that these young women and men have learned, over there. It's a pretty cool thing to see some people doing karate at a cannabis event with the kids and the whole family. And we had just about everything you could think out there. My older son, Lennon, he's 10 years old, and he was out there helping out with the grow games out on the field. He really enjoyed that, and they had a great time. They saw Nature Joe. All the kids wait for Nature Joe. He brings snakes and lizards, and we had pony rides and a bouncy house and popcorn and all kinds of goodies and healthy juice and fruit and vegetables over there, and it stands for the kids.
Yeah, man, it was a good time. That's for sure. You put on a great event. I'm excited about it for next year.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely want to be involved more.
Let's do it.
Well, man, I think we gotta bring this episode to a close. Is there?
Oh man.
I know, man. Is there anything else we want to say here?
Well, I mean, I thank you for having me on your program here, and I look forward to the future of all the different things I know we're going to be doing together. And I know there's people out there listening to what we're saying, and like we say at North Coast Horticulture Supply all the time, have fun in the garden out there. Don't forget that part of it.
Yeah, that's true. It is fun, man.
Have fun in the garden.
It is fun. Big smiles. We'd bring smiles all over, that's for sure.
That's it. It's High Noon in Humboldt.
High Noon in Humboldt with Steve Gieder. Real Dirt with Chip Baker. Thanks, bro.
Take care, brother. We'll talk to you soon.